Hey guys, welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It is 12 o'clock on a Sunday and it's time for a Q&A. This is where I take all the questions that you've asked over the course of the week and I try to answer them to the best of my ability. Now, before we get into the Q&A, there's a few things that you need to know. First of all, about the Q&A, I film these typically on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, although today I'm filming it on a Monday. If you want to guarantee to get your questions asked, try to get them in before the end of the weekend because I never know when I'm going to film this Q&A. If I've missed your question, I'm very sorry. Ask it down below and I'll get back to it the following week, I promise. Second of all, if I think a question is going to take too long to answer, I will use it as the basis of a video that comes out in the future when I've got time to film it, but I will let you know that. And finally, today is it the 23rd of December, Michael? What day is it today? I'm filming this on a Monday, so I've got...
24th.
24th, it's Christmas Eve. So finally, this stupid shirt that I've been wearing all week finally pays off. It's Christmas Eve. I hope you all get visited by Santa this evening and he has lots of presents for you. And I hope you guys have an amazing Christmas and have all the Christmas presents you wanted. And anybody who's a magician and has asked for magic for Christmas and opens up their presents on Christmas Day and they haven't got at least one Craig Petty present under the tree, I'm never speaking to you ever again. Please bear that in mind. That's it. We're done. Forever. No, I'm just joking. But the reason Michael's here, I've asked him to stick around for a couple of seconds before he leaves, is because before we start the Q&A, I just want to let you guys know that we've got some Christmas programming coming out over the course of Christmas. We've worked especially hard, especially considering I've been gigging like 15 gigs a day, and yet still we've been able to film Christmas content. So let me tell you what's coming up over Christmas, starting with Christmas Eve. Well, Christmas Eve, we've got this Q&A, and then later on the evening at 9 o'clock, we've got the Nightshade review show special, right? So many people have been asking us to review Nightshade. I've done like 5 or 6 routines on a 5x5, but people have been asking for different routines. So we filmed a review show special for Nightshade with like probably 7 or 8 new routines. 7 or 8 of different routines off the project are included in that review show special. So that's going up tonight at 9 o'clock. Then Christmas Day, that's right, we're still here on Christmas Day. Christmas Day, what we got on Christmas Day?
We've got the Magic TV Christmas lecture.
The Magic TV Christmas lecture, this is very exciting. I filmed a Christmas lecture. Unpublished material. I'd normally put it up on the Netrix to say thank you for everybody watching Christmas Day, Magic TV. 9 o'clock, Christmas Day. You've got a 1-hour lecture of unpublished material by me. I'm going to be performing it and then breaking down how it works. There's some really good stuff on there, isn't there?
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, Jack lost the plot when he was watching that stuff. Boxing Day, what we got on Boxing Day?
We have the Magic TV Boxing Day lecture.
We've got another lecture. We got another lecture because Christmas Day wasn't enough. We thought we'd do another one on Boxing Day. And so we got 2 lectures. One on Christmas. That one went a bit longer than an hour, didn't it? Because you couldn't shut me up. Even though we was doing this behind the camera, I kept going. So 2 lectures, both online, both free for you to attend. One on Christmas Day, one on Boxing Day. Commercial close-up magic, coins, cards. If you like my sort of material, it's my gift to you. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. So that's Christmas Day and Boxing Day sorted. Then on the 27th, Michael?
Got the Craig and Ryland Christmas review show.
Craig and Ryland Christmas review show, Tenyo special. Tenyo have brought out 4 tricks this year, like they do every year, and we thought we'd make it a really interesting review show with me and Ryland by reviewing the Tenyo tricks that came out this year. Because when you think Tenyo, you think toys. When you think Christmas, you think toys. So why not combine the two into the Craig and Ryland Christmas review special? So that's the Wednesday the 27th, right? Then we're on to Thursday the 28th. What's happening then, Michael?
We've got Ryland's full show from P3.
Ryland's full show from the P3 Theatre, Penguin Magic. He went out earlier this year, filmed the Magic for Everybody kit, and then also did a show at the P3 Theatre. We couldn't take any big stuff because obviously we were going on a plane, but this is his small show. So if you've ever wanted to watch Ryland do a full unedited show, this is his show, performance only, live from the P3 Theatre. It's really fun. Gather the family round, watch the kid magician do his show, and it's fun for all the family. Then on the 28th, we have
a full show from Craig Petty.
A full show from Craig Petty. Is that the one from Smoke and Mirrors?
Smoke and Mirrors.
Definitely not one for the whole family. Lots of swearing. Lots of. If you want to see an angry, tattooed, bald man swearing and doing magic at the world's best magic theatre, then that's what you want to watch. This is my the show that I did at the at Smoke and Mirrors, I think a few months ago now, and you get to see it fully unedited. All of my favourite routines in there. People have been wanting to see more performance footage of me performing on stage. You're welcome. There it is. That's on the 20. So that's Friday the 20 something. Friday the 29th. 29th. Then what have we got on Saturday?
The best tricks of 2023 list.
The best tricks of 2023. That's right. The 10 best tricks of 2023. This is what we think of the 10 best tricks of 2023. What do you think is going to make it to number one? You'll be surprised. You will be surprised. You get that list is going up. It's currently being edited at the moment, isn't it, Mo? Yeah. Okay, so that will be going up on a Saturday. And also, are we going to tell them about the Talk Magic? Or is the Talk Magic going up this Saturday? There's not Talk. Yeah, so there's no Talk Magic. So Talk Magics are having a week off because this is going to be the best tricks of 2023. Yeah. Right. Michael's organised all this, not me. He just sits me in front of a camera and just tells me to film. Then on Sunday the 31st, New Year's Eve, what have we got?
That will be the worst tricks of 2023.
The worst tricks of 2023. What's going to make the list? What is going to make the list? People are going to be wondering what the worst tricks of 2023 is. Dex on there? No, it's not. But it's definitely not on the best list either. But that's an argument for another time. I love Dex, but this is the worst tricks of 2023. That's going to be going up on New Year's Eve, right? New Year's Eve, which is the Saturday. Is it the
Sunday?
The Sunday. I'm so confused. And then Monday, the 1st of January,
will be the 5x5 with Matt Cluley.
The 5x5 Matt Cluley special. That's it. 5x5 performance special from Matt Cluley, and he's promised us there's not going to be a Stebbins or an Anverdi die in sight. I know what you're thinking. Does Matt do anything else other than Stebbins and the Anverdi die? We'll hang around on the 1st of January 2024 and find out if he actually does do anything other than those tricks. He might do, he might not. We haven't filmed it yet, but we'll find out tomorrow, and you'll find out on the 1st of January. So there you go. That's the Christmas schedule. And also we're going to have Magic Lives every day as well, aren't we?
Yeah, and we've also got bonus instead of the Q&A on the Sunday, New Year's Eve.
Oh, yes. So instead of a Q&A on Sunday on New Year's Eve, we've actually got... people have asked me to rank my tricks that came out in 2023. I released 11 physical products in 2023, and I've ranked them from best to worst. So if you've bought any of my tricks this year, you can tell me if you think I'm right or if I'm wrong. So that's it. That's the whole Christmas schedule. Michael and I have worked very hard. I say Michael and I. I've just sat in front of a camera and just talked bollocks for a few hours, and then Michael's had the hard work of editing it all together. But we didn't want you guys to have no Magic TV over Christmas. So every single day, Magic Lives, every single day, videos. So there you go. That's the Christmas schedule. But forget about all of that because you're here for a Q&A. So we're going to get into this week's Q&A. So the first question is from JPlays568, who says, "Hi Craig, thanks for your contributions to the Magic community. One question from me. Do you intend to do any videos on other routines of the Nightshade coin set? I've watched the ones you did on the 5x5 video and on the live launch, and I thought they were great. But given there are so many routines listed in the Alakazam description, I thought it would be helpful to see a wider range of what effects are possible with the set." Absolutely. You want to be watching the review show special for Nightshade, which is tonight at 9 o'clock. Because tonight at 9 o'clock, it's going to be an extra special long Nightshade coin set review show special, and I'm going to be going through a metric ton of routines off the Nightshade coin set, and none of them are the ones that I filmed on the 5x5 or on the live launch with Alakazam. So yes is the answer, and if you can wait till 9 o'clock tonight, you're going to find out exactly what those routines are. So the next question is from Divisham Magician, who says, "Craig, do you ever cough out cards at gigs?" And the answer is no, never have. It's just not something that appealed to me. I think it's kind of a bit weird and a bit gross. And it's not something I've ever done. It's not something I would ever do. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I've seen magicians do it and they get a great reaction. But it's not something that I would do. So no, I've never coughed cards out at gigs. And no, I haven't. No. But hey, if it's good enough to Jeff McBride, it's good enough for us, right? But it's just not something I would do. Next question is from Jackson Bollock, who says... Great name. Still wondering when we can get the Mr. Blonde magic bullying video. Unless I missed it, I've been waiting all year long. There's a reason why you're waiting, and it will happen. I don't know when it will happen, but when it happens, I will tell you the reason why you've had to wait so long, and it will happen at some point. But it's going to be a while. But just keep watching. I promise you it will come at some point. Next question is from Andrew Wigan 4101, who says, I love utility moves. Lately, my favourite has been the Snap Deal. It's a top control, a bottom control, a steal, a vanish. It can work on anything from a single card to a whole packet. What's your favourite utility move? Damn. What's my favourite utility move? With cards, I would say my favourite utility move is a control. It's a control, admittedly, but it's got so much depth. There's so much you can do with it, and that's the control by Troy Hooser. The oh god, what's it called? Side. I can't remember the name of it. I've had a mental blank, but it's kind of like a variation on the convincing control, but it takes the card into the second or the third or the fourth or the fifth position from the top of the deck. The other thing that I think is a great utility move that probably no one's ever seen of, Andy Gladwin, before Vanishing Ink even existed, bought an ebook out with a utility move called the Angled Afterburner. Which was a fantastic utility move. You could use it as a control, you could use it as a switch, you could use it as a control, you could use it as a color change. There's so many different ways you could use it. The Angled Afterburner. And I've never met anybody who actually uses this thing, and I still use it. And I saw it in an ebook that he wrote. I don't think it was his stuff. I think it was somebody else's. I'm not too sure, but it was definitely called the Angled Afterburner. I lost all of my ebooks many years ago, unfortunately, and so I haven't got the reference anymore as to what it was exactly, but I remember it being called the Angled Afterburner, and it's great. It's one of the best utility moves I've ever seen, and hardly anyone does it. So look up Angled Afterburner, or maybe drop a message to Andy Gladwin. In terms of coins, I'm a big fan of the Spellbound move, because Spellbound, you can use it as a vanish, as a switch, as a color change, in order to get one behind, one ahead. I just think Spellbound has a lot more uses than people actually give it credit to. So there you go. I'd say Spellbound with coins, and maybe the Angled Afterburner, or I can't remember the name of it, the Troy Hooser move with cards. Okay, so the next question is Illusionist Ed Zeus, who says, hey, did you watch Dynamo's Buried Alive special? How did you like it? It was good. It wasn't what I was expecting. I was expecting non-stop magic, and it wasn't non-stop magic. I think it was more mental health and kind of help with regards to mental health than it was magic. But obviously the magic was incredibly strong, and I think that Stephen Frayne came across as such a nice, humble guy. I think it was great. I think it was very, very good. It wasn't what I was expecting, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's not necessarily a bad thing. I think that some of the magic on there was incredibly strong. I wouldn't have led with the Buried Alive thing. I know why they did, and it fitted into the narrative of what they were trying to achieve with the program, but I wouldn't have led with the Buried Alive thing. I think that there's better things that they could have done for the finale. When I was watching the Buried Alive, it reminded me of, Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Undertaker at WrestleMania, whatever it was, where, they basically did the same thing in the WWE 15, 20 years ago. Having said that, I understand why they went with that, but I think it was so hyped. The Buried Alive thing was so hyped. I think that it was probably almost impossible for it to live up to the hype. But the program itself delivered. I mean, there was nothing wrong with the Buried Alive thing, nothing wrong with it. It's just, I think that there probably might have been a better way to end the program, but that's just my opinion. I mean, what do I know? I've never been on TV. What do I know? But I think that the best part of the program was the actual build up to the Buried Alive. Buried Alive was great. It was fine. I would have ended with something else. The magic that led up to it was great. Stephen came across as a really somebody you could absolutely relate to, and somebody who had gone through a lot and had come out the other side. I think it was, I think it was an incredible way of reinventing himself and then moving into a new chapter, which I think could be even bigger than the previous chapter. So I think it ticked all the boxes. It wasn't his best TV show that I've ever seen, but it was still a hell of a lot better than a lot of people that I've ever seen, and it was really, really good. It was an enjoyable time. I enjoyed it. I'm glad I watched it. Okay, so the next question is Kolski3132, who says, "Hi Craig, great video as usual. I own all 3 elite coin sets from yourself and Alakazam, and just wanted to say they're the best purchases I've made in my 2 years messing with Magic. The coins and the many, many routines on the tutorials are absolutely quality and worth every penny of the price. Thank you for another great year of Magic." Thank you, my friend. I really appreciate it. I understand that the elite coin range are expensive. They have to be because of what goes into them. But the fact that you've had value from them and it's something that you use and it's inspired you, I really appreciate that. So thank you so much. Okay, so the next question is from XQ Mutant, who says, "Great Q&A, Craig. Regarding relearning old favourites, I create cheat sheets using a drawing pad, pausing instructional videos at key moments and adding text or sketches. These are very useful. For example, I used to do Reswindled, but it got replaced by other routines. I relearn it and refer to the sketch pad." Yeah, that's a great idea. Really great idea. Yeah. 100%. I think that's fantastic. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. Okay, so the next question is something AFAL, who says, "I know this is a non-Magic related question, but I'm wondering who your favourite wrestlers are right now. I'm really enjoying Gunther and Rhea Ripley on WWE, but I love MJF and his character on AEW. I like AEW. I do. I watch it from time to time. I'm not obsessed over it like some people are. I've always been a WWE diehard fan since I first got into wrestling. But, TNA, as it's now going to become known again, AEW, I watch them all, Ring of Honor. I've got quite a bit of knowledge when it comes to wrestling, but I'm always going to be a WWE fanboy. In terms of who my favourite wrestlers are right now, I've always had a soft spot for CM Punk. I'm glad he's back in the WWE. Cody Rhodes is doing great work, I think. I think splitting up the Usos was the best decision that they could have made. I think that both of them are on an upward trajectory separately, and when they come back together at some point in the future, I think it'll blow the roof off the building. LA Knight is great. In terms of female wrestlers in the WWE, you mentioned Rhea Ripley. I think that she's standout, head and shoulders above everyone else. I don't think there's anybody really that touches her. I think that the whole of the, Dominic Mysterio and Rhea Ripley, I think, are such a good team. I think they really are. The Judgment Day, the whole thing has been so well done. So I've really enjoyed watching a lot of that stuff. In terms of AEW, you have to go with MJF. I think that he's head and shoulders above most other people that are out there right now. I've always been a fan of Jon Moxley as well. And it's nice to see Christian Cage and Adam Copeland Edge going at it and doing such a great job. I think Christian's doing the best work of his career. I personally think that Jericho needs to hang it up now. I think that his day is done. But there you go. That's some of my favourite wrestlers in wrestling right now. Okay, so the next question is from Badzilla. Thanks for the video, Craig. I had a nightmare with the instruction issue with Hook by Eric Ross. The company Lost Art got lost and vanished, but they kept selling the effect on the market. When I bought the instructions weren't working, I contacted everyone. Eric, the creator himself, was rude in reply, had no help or no instructions. Yes, the creator himself. He told me to contact the company, which disappeared and you can't contact them. So I'm left with a product and no tutorial and no help, and the creator is being ridiculous. Later on, when Penguin reissued the effect with a new tutorial, I contacted them to get the instruction, at least with my proof of purchase. They sent me the old tutorial. The question is, if they're not going to keep the tutorials alive, why are they still making the product available on the market and taking no responsibility at all to send videos to buyers, including the creator himself? Wasn't happy about this. Right. I don't know the situation here. What I will say is that from a business point of view, in order for and I don't know anything, I've got no insider knowledge here at all, but I will say is, in order for Penguin to re-release Hook, they've obviously bought the rights from somebody. I imagine if Eric Ross was telling you to contact this Lost Arts, then Lost Arts have got the rights or something. I don't know. Somebody's got the rights and they've sold the rights to Penguin. So Penguin have gone to the expense of re-filming everything. They've taken a step back, and obviously I assume Eric Ross wasn't involved in the new version of Hook, because you don't see him on the project at all anywhere. So I don't think he is. I don't know, but they've gone to the expense of packaging and props and tutorial and all of this stuff. So I can understand why, from their point of view, it's a brand new trick. It's almost like a 2.0. They've completely started again from scratch. Penguin Magic weren't Lost Art. It's not like they had, when you bought it from Lost Art, it's not like you bought it from Penguin. Penguin have had to pay to get the rights to this. So I can kind of understand why Penguin didn't want to send you their tutorial, and they sent you the old tutorial instead. I totally get that. So obviously someone sent them the old tutorial, and they've got that, and they've used that as a frame of reference to get their new product launched. I can understand why Penguin haven't done it. Unfortunately, companies go bankrupt and companies go out of business all of the time. It's why streaming is an issue. It's why, like I said last week, you really need to be able to download your stuff. Eric should have been more responsive, or at least not been rude in his reply. At the end of the day, he created the trick. He obviously sold the rights to Lost Art, I imagine. And you're a customer and you've got an issue. It's very frustrating to be told under no circumstances to bugger off. It's not nice, and I totally get it. And I think that he should have done more in order to fix this situation with you. I don't think it's his responsibility that Lost Arts went and vanished. They obviously went out of business for whatever reason. That's not his fault. I've sold the rights to the Elite Coin range, for example, to Alakazam. I'm not on a royalty deal. I've sold the rights to Alakazam. If Alakazam went bankrupt, I haven't got the tutorials other than the same link that everyone else has. If Alakazam went bankrupt and then someone said to me, I've bought a Nightshade coin set, can you give me the tutorial link? I wouldn't even know, if Alakazam had gone bankrupt, I wouldn't know what to do. I wouldn't have a clue. But I'd try and help in any way that I could. I definitely wouldn't be rude, so I can understand why Eric is kind of unable to help. He went about it the wrong way. And I can understand why Penguin sent you the old link and not the new link. I totally get that as well. And I'm sure that this Lost Arts, I don't even remember Lost Arts, but I'm sure that this Lost Arts didn't want to go out of business. It's just an unfortunate situation for everybody, and it's why these tutorials shouldn't go on things like YouTube or Vimeo, and instead they should go into a place where you have got permanent access to them, even if the company no longer exists. It's a frustrating situation, and as more things go online, this sort of thing could happen more and more. Okay, so the next question is from Standard, who says, Hi Craig, thank you very much for your great contributions to Magic in recent years. You're more than welcome. You're shining on both ends, being a great creator of awesome magic, as well as providing a really great deal to the community with all your online content. Thank you so much. Now, my question, with your most recent release of the Nightshade project within the Elite Coin range, I'd recognise that within my dollar-sized collection, the size of the Mirage and the Nightshade match perfectly, but the Apparition coins vary slightly on size. So this set is incompatible to the rest of the range. The gimmick just doesn't fit onto any other coin from any other of the two sets. Will this cause any troubles when you're going to publish your crossover stuff next year? Are there any routines that use this? Do all the sets have thinner? And mine is an unlucky coincidence. How about the functionality with the $half sets? Thanks for taking care and elaborating on the above. Right, you're more than welcome. So first of all, no, it's totally not an issue. Remember that each one of these tricks from the Elite coin range are designed to be sold separately. It's not designed to link together. It's like when Apparition came out, we weren't thinking about, well, you know, we're going to make Apparition work with Mirage. That was never the case. But as the Elite coin range grew, I was the person that said to Pete, hey, you know, we've got all these different coin sets. Why don't we do an academy showing how they can all link together? Now, I've got the same sets that you have. It's not like I've got a different set. So I understand what you mean, because my sets work the same way. All of the materials and all of the routines that I've put together for this academy don't rely on that being, that's totally not an issue at all. So please don't worry about that. If you buy Apparition, it's not going to, what you talked about is not going to affect anybody who buys Apparition, right? And it's not going to affect these sets working together because, or at least from my point of view, all the routines that I've created to put all of these sets together are they don't rely on that wrinkle that you talked about. And the other thing is, we're talking about the shell here, right? And there's more than one shell with the set. So I totally understand where you're coming from. I totally get it. But I think from Alakazam's point of view, we were never designing the sets to link together. Like the Mirage coin set was the Mirage coin set. The Apparition coin set was the Apparition coin set. It's only when Nightshade came out that I was kind of like, well, let's link them all together. And as I say, I'm going to have a very long academy of how these sets link together. And the issue that you've talked about here is totally not an issue. It's not a problem. They link together in different ways. So I understand your concern, but trust me, it's not an issue. Okay, so the next question is from MCK Magic, who says, hi Craig, just finished my first gig yesterday at the children's Christmas grotto type thing. Your videos on approaching groups helped a lot. However, a few of the guests didn't speak English or only understood when I said magic. My question is, if you're in my situation, what tricks would you perform? I did a sponge ball routine and a toss-up cube solve, but I wanted to know what you would do for future. Hope you and your family have a great Christmas. I get into that situation an awful lot, more than you would possibly realise. I get into that situation a lot. A lot of things work. I do a lot of work for corporates. I've got a big sort of company down the road from me that's always bringing foreign visitors in from Japan and Europe, and they don't speak English, and they're hiring me to do walk around magic for them. And so I've developed a lot of routines that work when nobody can understand a word that I'm saying. You're right, cube stuff works really well. Lots of visual cube stuff works great. And sponge balls will work really well. Using a purse frame and producing stuff from a purse frame works really good as well. If you've got a routine where you produce coins and you make them jump from one place to another and then you make them vanish, that sort of visual eye candy looks great. The routine I use is Night Flight from the Nightshade coin set. Copper silver routines where they're super visual and easy to follow, like the extreme copper silver from the Nightshade coin set, that works really well. Something like Apparition would work really well as well. Fire coins by by Chad Long works really well. That's a great effect to do because they can just follow what's happening. Anything with a flipper coin where you're showing 4 coins and it's kind of like watch, and you just demonstrate coins through the table, coins through the hand, coins across with a flipper coin. That all works really well. You can do card stuff as long as it's very easy to follow. Ambitious card is very easy to follow. Have them spread the cards out and have them touch one. Make a gesture like touch one. When they do, have them write their name on there, you know, like kind of gesture. You do. And then do the thing where the card keeps coming to the top of the pack. That works really well. It's fairly easy to do routines that people can follow. You just don't want to make them convoluted. You don't want to make them difficult to follow. Make them easy to follow and focus on a lot of visual eye candy. Okay, so the next one is from Stephen Devereux, who says, hi Craig, going away now for the holidays and I'll be back next year. Just want to say thank you for your hard work, your videos, and some of the tricks you've brought out this year are really great. Have a great Christmas and New Year. Thanks for South Africa. Thanks, Stephen. Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and thanks for watching the channel. I really appreciate it. So the next question is from the Drunk Magic Ukulele player, here we go, who says, hi Craig, serious one for a change. Would you consider getting an implant or more than one to perform tricks. I was thinking maybe some sort of magnet or vibrator for touch illusions. I also appreciate the effort, but that shirt from last week's show is bloody awful. This shirt is amazing. I feel Christmassy as fuck wearing this. Yeah, okay. So would I wear? Would I get an implant? No, I wouldn't. Now, I've spoken to magicians who have considered getting an implant or actually have got an implant, but honestly, no, I just wouldn't. I wouldn't. If I want to get a vibration, I'm gonna shove it in my sock or I'm gonna finger palm it. If I need a magnet, I'm gonna get a raven or something. But no, I'm not gonna. Says the guy who's covered his entire skin and reveals. You know, there's a certain irony in me saying, no, I wouldn't have some sort of medical procedure just to elevate a card trick when here I am with friggin' reveals here. I've got an act on my arms, but I wouldn't have a medical, procedure. I appreciate the irony, but no, I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't have implants or anything done in order to improve a trick. That's not something I would do. And don't forget, all of these tattoos, they all do a magic trick, but each one of them is also designed to have a personal meaning as well. So these cards are for a 5-card multiple selection, but they're my kids' dates of birth. Rylan was born on 12th of November. Thea was born on the 5th of March. All of them, this is my mum and dad's phone number. I've talked about this before. So they all have a personal meaning as well, which is why I'm fine with tattoos. Okay, so the next question is from Matt Peters, who's got some really great advice. We were talking last week about burnout and just getting like fed up. And he said, I'm an aspiring professional magician that wants to start gigging soon. I totally understanding not to fall out of love with magic. Burnout is a huge fear of mine. For me, whenever I start to feel burnout, I pick up another one of my interests for a few days and reassess. Usually that's enough for me. My advice is if you want to relearn your old stuff, only relearn one thing at a time and do a new thing in between relearning so you don't get bored. Hope you get your mojo back, bud. If you don't, can I have your gold membership? Spot. That's hilarious. 100% Matt. That is incredible advice. It's easy to get your mojo back. You just gotta kind of kickstart it, but that is really great advice. Okay, so the last question today is from user-ox1fg1g14f. Wonderful. Who says, hi Craig, thanks for the important information as well as performance and video tutorials. Question, what type of coin routines would you consider performing at a restaurant job? Also, if performing at a restaurant table, performing one handful of tricks, what's a good percentage mix between cards, coins, and another item? Okay, so first of all, what coin routines would you consider? It very much depends on how the restaurant is set out. So I've worked restaurants in the past where there's a lot of space on the tables in front of you. I wouldn't carry around a mat, but I'd happily do stuff where I can put things down on the table, like card in the box, put a chop cup down or a coffee cup for chop, coins through table, that sort of stuff. But sometimes you'll perform at a restaurant and there's literally no table space, or it's like really packed, in which case you want to keep stuff up here and you don't want to be using the tables. You want to have people hold their hands out. In terms of coin routines, I perform an awful lot. If I'm performing up here, most of the stuff that I've talked about recently off Nightshade. If I'm performing stuff down here, a lot of the time I'm doing stuff off Mirage, or I'm doing stuff off my old DVD flipped out. A lot of the stuff that you're going to see in the Netrix, especially the coin section. Go and look in the coin section on the Netrix. A lot of those routines were designed initially to work in a restaurant environment, and then over the time they changed to work more in sort of a gigging close-up environment. In terms of the mix of stuff, when I'm putting an act together, when I'm putting a set list together, I kind of make it to run to about 10 minutes. When you're working a restaurant, you don't want to outstay your welcome. 10 minutes really works the best, and then you move on to another another table, then another table. And I like to try and include an eclectic range. I don't like to have all card material, for example. I do like to open with something that's non-card, like coins or Rubik's Cubes or something like that. Really, in my set, I have 3 or 4 tricks. I'll try and make sure there's a card trick, a coin trick, and 2 others. Obviously, it very much depends. So if I'm opening with Spooning Around by Axel Heckler, for example, a perfect transition and lead in there is to go to something like Liquid Metal. If I'm opening with a coin routine, like let's say I'm producing coins and doing something like Night Flight, I might take that final coin and turn it into a deck of cards and do a flash deck production and then go into a card routine. It very much depends. Go and have a look at my set list video that I did on Magic TV a while ago, and that'll kind of give you more of an insight into kind of my thinking behind this sort of thing. So there you go, guys. That is another Q&A in the bag. Once again, thank you for joining me right here on Magic TV. I really appreciate it. Don't forget, you want to see more videos like this, like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. Now I'm going to be back again after Christmas. So next week, like I said, there's no Q&A. There's 2 big videos, but there's no Q&A. I don't want to film a Q&A over Christmas. That's why I've tried to batch all of this stuff together before Christmas starts. So leave a comment in the video down below. Leave a comment in this video telling me what questions you've got, and I will get to them in 2 weeks' time on Magic TV. So the questions you ask now, I'm not going to get to next week. I'm going to get to the following week. But ask them, then I've got some questions to put the next Q&A together with. Don't forget, you want to join the Netrix, please go to www.thenetrix.com. Go check out, see what all the fuss is about. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Thanks once again for joining me, and I'll see you again soon. My name's Craig. Have a Merry Christmas. That's this week's Q&A. I'll see you in the new year.